administration. Away from Osun now to Abuja, where staff of the Nigerian Postal Service earlier today staged a peaceful protest over an alleged plan by the authorities to sell the organization. They demanded the immediate suspension of the government reform slated to commence by the end of this month. TVC senior correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
In 2021, the federal government, through the Minister of Communications, announced plans to reform NIPOST. The reform will focus on unbundling the organization and putting its over 2,300 decapitated and underutilized assets to use, create employment, and generate revenue. This protest is their first major step towards registering their disagreement with government over the planned reform. They insist the reform is shrouded in secrecy as they were not carried along. The workers cite the fate of NITEL, which are underground after similar reform.
The government was not sincere with the reform process. We asked them, this reform, where are the documents that you are using, that you are relying upon? This implementation strategy and all of those. We asked them, and they kept on promising and promising.
The workers want immediate suspension of the reform. They threaten industrial unrest in the sector should government ignore their grievances.
Suspend this process and let another government come and look at it. And if it is something that can go that line, it will not go that line. Some other way, some other alternative can be provided.
The newly appointed Postmaster General, Sunday Adegboyega, was on hand to receive a copy of the workers' table of demands and promised to deliver it accordingly.
You cannot take asset without the liability. This is the liability that I'm taking over. And I must look for ways and the management on how to solve the problem on the ground.
The NIPOST staff are concerned that while the agency has not been receiving any form of capital funding in the last 15 years, funds are allegedly being diverted to its subsidiaries, which are being run and managed by few individuals for self-gains.
The protesting workers insist the process and structure of the government reform are not in any way in tandem with similar reforms in other sectors. They describe the planned reform as an attempt to nail NIPOST's coffin and throw thousands of into the labor market. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.